Hi. So I'm really curious about what's going to take place in the second week for you, Libra, because the fact is, in that first week, it talked about you meeting some people, and in the second week, it talks about you walking away from somebody. So I don't know, are you in a relationship and maybe you're vying to move out of a relationship, but this could also be you quitting one job to move to another. Now remember, the King of Wands in the first week was talking about providing you with an opportunity, and it might be a work opportunity, okay? And then as you're moving into the second week, it talks about you walking away from a situation, a person, a job, an opportunity, a circumstance, a house, whatever it may be, okay? But it's like you know how to handle this. You know what job you want, what relationship you want, and you're moving toward it, okay? And it does talk about you knowing by experience, maybe work experience, maybe life experience. You know how to deal with this situation. Now, it also talks about relationships between two households. So perhaps you're getting involved in some type of counseling where you're going to counsel children, as I said, from broken homes or abusive situations. But it could also be in your own life, okay? Maybe you are separated from an ex-partner, and maybe you have children, and maybe that child has to kind of go back and forth, okay, Libra? And maybe there's going to be a little bit of a conflict there, or maybe it's not going to be as smooth sailing as you think it is, okay? Now, it does talk about, see, here it comes up, shared custody situations, or even circumstances where adult children return home to live with their parents, and that creates some type of discomfort, perhaps with a second marriage, and an adult child returns home. That's going to create chaos or perhaps chaotic energy between the husband and the wife. Okay, however you choose to do it, wife and wife, husband, whatever it may be. Partners, we'll just say it causes conflict between partners because everybody has a different maybe belief system or a different value system or a different set of ethics, okay? But it does talk about your family expanding. It talks about second marriages. It talks about bringing in other people into a circumstance that you're involved in, whether that be a relationship or a live-in situation. It could even talk about you letting a family member move home because they're going through some rough times, or maybe they have separated, and so you're offering them up, a place to stay while they heal, okay, emotionally. But it talks about you're handling this situation well, and you're looking to understand the things that are taking place at this point in time. And this is a new relationship, possibly a new job, a new opportunity, whatever it may be, okay? And you're settling in well, whether it be to work or to a relationship. You're settling in well, and you're willing to take those blinders off and look at different scenarios. So trying to be creative in ways that you deal with things in your life as you're moving forward. And especially if you're bringing other people into the mix. You're definitely willing to take the chance on other people as you're moving forward, okay? Now, oh my God. So the card that you have now is the communication card, okay? And it's not the greatest card in the deck. It's the Three of Swords. And the reason I'm showing it to you is that there was someone who was leaving a scenario. Maybe they were moving home and you were handling this well, okay? Well, maybe you're going to get a communication, and that communication is going to be very cutting, okay? And it's going to cut to the core because think about it. Three of Swords is piercing the heart 3 times, right? So it might be rumors, it could be disturbing messages, but it's identifying the source of a problem. So maybe you had a blended family or a broken family. Maybe your child was living with your spouse or your ex-partner, and that child decided they wanted to come home and they wanted to stay with you. And then you get a call from your ex, and your ex says, you know why they want to stay with you? Because you have no rules, because they have to listen to the rules when they hear it. Or maybe they're going to say, well, the only reason they moved in with you is because they said they were going to break you and so up. So it's creating that conflict before it even starts. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's identifying the source of the problem for you. So the phone call is actually going to tell you what exactly is transpiring and why this person moved back. Maybe this person cheated on their partner, or maybe they're just wanting to shift disturb in your life. Whatever it may be, you feel a sense of responsibility for them, but you're not going to put up with any flack. So you're not going to take any gruff. You're going to put them in their place, and you're going to lay down the law. And it talks about you having to define your boundaries with this person, or possibly with someone from a previous relationship, okay? It does talk about you. Maybe you are dealing with your emotions, your negative emotions, by getting creative, maybe writing or painting or listening to music or even writing poetry, okay? But it does talk about emotions to your ego, or injuries to your emotions or your ego. So perhaps something was said is not really the most pleasant. So indeed, you're going to have to define your boundaries very solid in that second week of September. Now, it also could talk about danger to your health, maybe heart problems, or maybe you're receiving a message from someone else and they're telling you about some health issues that they're dealing with that have to do with their heart or their circulation. Now, it does say, the question that is out here is, are you particularly susceptible? So this might be someone, I mean, this is an authority figure, it is a father figure. Do you have a father figure in your life that is dealing with heart issues, okay? And indeed, this perhaps is health problems that are surrounding a family member or a familial type of energy, okay? Maybe even someone who's close to you, but not a family member. Maybe it's someone that feels like a father or a brother, maybe even an uncle, okay? And it does talk about potential health problems. And, you know, it sounds like it runs in the family. So it's something that you have to be aware of and you have to keep an eye on, okay? So indeed, if there's someone in your family, maybe a fire sign individual who's dealing with health problems, okay, and you're getting a message about them, and it's a disturbing message, maybe you need to refocus on your own health also. Maybe this is a proverbial warning from the divine that, you know what, it's time to think about your health, Libra. Now, it does talk about somebody's view of life and relationships is creating depression in their life, okay? And they're rehashing old memories from the past. Abusive behaviors, jealousy, arguments, unfaithfulness, separation, love triangle. So this might be an ex that's coming back in to kind of like rehash the old shit that took place in your relationship. And maybe they're, you know, pointing the finger and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. And in that case, you might have to lay down solid foundations. And maybe a child of yours is tired of hearing it. Maybe they were living with the alternate parent and maybe they want to move back because they don't want to hear it anymore. They don't want their, maybe they're being accosted or maybe they're being blamed for things that happened in your marriage or in your relationship or in your partnership, okay? But indeed, it says you're pulling away from that. You don't want any part of it. And it's time to lay down solid foundations. Indeed, if there's abusive situations or behaviors that are taking place, you know, I wouldn't want to deal with it either. So indeed, if you have a child that was placed in that situation, you know, I certainly wouldn't be slamming the door in their face. I mean, you know, they deserve a right to freedom from abuse and the escalation of violence. Okay, so be aware of these energies. Be very, very aware of them as you're moving into that third week. Because don't forget, the overall energy card was the devil, and it is the addiction card, right? And so you have somebody from the past maybe coming back, whether it be a female or a male. So you have somebody from the past coming back, okay? You've got a new relationship that's taking place. Boom, along comes somebody who's jealous or, you know, pointing the finger at you and saying, oh, you cheated with him or her or whatever, right? And, you know, addictions. And addictions can mean some pretty nasty shit can go down, right? And then you have the sword card, which is the injury card, and that could be emotions. It could be, I mean, the heart. It could be literal heart problems. It could be circulation problems. It could be, you know, aneurysm. It could be anything like that that has to do with circulation in the heart. But it could also be emotion. So you got a lot of stuff going on as you're moving into that third week. So just be well aware of it. And if perhaps somebody from the past is dealing with some type of addictions, okay, you know, maybe you need to, as it said, walk away and don't look back. Don't look back because, you know, sometimes things are just meant to stay in the past. There are people who came into our lives and they were to teach us a life lesson. And you know what, Libra, you learned your lesson. It's not time to turn around and go back. You don't need to relearn it, okay? You need to move forward. You need to learn how to achieve a loving relationship with someone who's emotionally solid and balanced. So let's see what happens in that third week. Namaste. Bye.